Hey guys, this is Epi from Epi's Book Room, and yes, it's been a very long time since I filmed a video. Well, first of all, let me catch up and explain why I've been so absent. Well, first of all, when you start a new thing, a new project, you think to yourself, okay, I got this and I'm going to follow through. Every week I'm going to upload, and then you remember that you have a full-time job, full-time school, and you're doing so many other things, and also feeling extremely tired because you're 3 months pregnant. So there's like a lot in my life, and I try to do a little bit of everything, and sometimes that it becomes overwhelming because you cannot get to everything all the time. But this doesn't mean that YouTube is not important. I started it for a reason. It's really important. I've been watching Booktube for about 3 or 4 years now, and it's like my go-to. I watch videos night and day, and I always wanted to start the conversation and be part of the community, and I'm really happy for the 19 subscribers that I have right now. It's nothing, but it's still a lot. To me, it means a lot. So thank you, and thank you for not unsubscribing while I was gone. So in this video I wanted to talk about what I'm currently reading and what I plan to read in February. So this February, as many of you know, it is African American Literature History Month, and African American Literature Month. It's African American Everything Month, and so it should be. And I decided to read books that are solely from African American authors, and also Lindsay from it's Jane Lindsay. She spoke about Feminist Literature February, so I decided to incorporate both African American books and African American feminist books, or books that are written by African American authors, into my TBR pile. So I'm going to start first with my current reads, which are Kindred by Octavia Butler, and also The Thing Around Your Neck by Chimamanda Ngozi Adichie. So in both of these, I'm really not far. For Kindred, I just started it this morning, and I absolutely love it. So it's practically like a science fiction historical novel, very different from what you would expect. It's very similar to Outlander, just that, of course, it talks about African American protagonists, and I actually like it more. It's very well written, and it's interesting to see that dynamic that happens like right away. But I also want to pick up Outlander again in the future and see how this compares to it. So far I like it a lot. I like how it's written. I like the suspense, and just the character seems really likable so far. And then The Thing Around Your Neck by Chimamanda Ngozi Adichie. She is one of the most important and most famous feminists that there are around. She's from Nigeria, and she's also lives between Nigeria and America. And her books talk about the Nigerian life and what it means to be Nigerian and also American, and what it is for families to go through like transformations, immigration. And this book in particular, it talks about like 12 different stories talking about the experience that they have in their country, and also navigating their new life in America. And then the books that I have for February, well, those are for February too, but I started them because I was really excited to start them. But there's also The Star Side of Bird Hill by Naomi Jackson. I actually met her at an event 2 or 3 years ago. She was really nice. She signed the book for me. Oh, it was September 19th of 2015. Yeah. She was very nice. And I also talked about wanting to write. In fact, she said, best of luck with your writing. I'll talk about my writing in a future video. And this book is about 2 sisters that are sent to live with their family in Barbados. They're from Brooklyn. I'm from Brooklyn. And these sisters are trying to navigate what it means to find a new family, find new culture, and understand where it is that they want to live. And then, of course, a book that everyone knows about, The Bluest Eye by Toni Morrison. And this could kind of be feminist at the same time, if you think about it. It's about a young girl who does not love herself for being herself, and she wants to desperately be white. And that's extremely heartbreaking, and I know it's going to break my heart, but it's a very important read. It's one of the most important reads in African American literature from what I know. And then we have, always following the slavery theme, 12 Years a Slave by Solomon Northup, and he won, well, the movie that they adapted won several Oscars, and I've had this for 3 years. Yeah, so it would be about time for me to read this. And then Chains is a YA book about slavery, about sisters being sold off and trying to find their way and trying to find freedom. And I started it also but put it down. And it was really good. But I'm a mood reader. And I suck. And then I have Their Eyes Were Watching God by Zora Neale Hurston, who I forgot to mention. This is part of my feminist reads. Their Eyes Were Watching God is a classic, and Alice Walker calls it the most important book to her. And it's also written from the perspective of a young woman, and Janie Crawford, and I started reading it, and I'm up to page 38, and I put it down because it was very difficult. It's written in the language of the South, and I've read books before written in the language of the South, of African American language, that weren't as hard to read, but this one is very pure and very it's her language, and I want to read it. I don't want to back down. I want to be immersed in the character, so I want to pick it up again and give it a second chance, and I hope that I just need to take my time. I mean, there's no rush. So those are the books that I'm currently reading that I want to read. As I said, it's been taking me a long time. It's taking me a long time to read. I read a little, I read every day, but a little slower, maybe because I'm so tired. But yeah, as long as I keep reading, that's what's important. Please tell me what you're reading in the comments. Sorry for being so absent, but thank you so much for sticking around. See you soon. Bye.